And Happy New Year. Good morning and Happy New Year, everyone. We are going to connect live right now with Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Hold on, let me just start here. Stop. Give me 1 second. And start broadcasting. We're live, and if you're on YouTube, you can post your comments. If you're on Instagram and Facebook, we will not see your live comments during the session, but offline afterwards. Within 3 to 5 minutes, if you're watching this video, first of all, Happy New Year. It's January 4th, 2022. Big year ahead. Why are you watching this video? Well, the title of this video is as a business owner, you can apply for a work permit. It's not complicated. A lot of people think, oh, how can I immigrate to Canada? Yes, some people do select the route of coming here as a student or finding a job offer. But if you are a senior manager, if you have the funds, if you are a business owner, a shareholder, if you have entrepreneurial experience, you can start your own business in Canada. Issue yourself your own work permit. Have you ever considered that? That's the point we're going to discuss in the next few minutes. It's not complicated at all. It's typically missed by many applicants that, hey, I can actually come here, start my own business, run my own business on my own terms, have my family study and work while I'm doing this inside of Canada, and not have the pressure of not knowing what will happen after I graduate from school here in Canada as an international student. Well, if you're young and you're studying, great, that's the best option. But if you are a business owner or senior manager, professional or entrepreneur of any kind, the business ownership and work permit option are great in Canada, and they're not as advertised. So this is why we're going to quickly jump in. It's a general overview, bird's eye view on what you can expect, what are the advantages, and how to proceed. So you've got two options, the federal route or the provincial route, right? So the federal programs are very general. They're LMIA exempt. If you don't know what an LMIA is, it's when a company wants to issue a job offer, they need approval from the government, a labor market impact assessment, to issue a job offer to a foreigner. But when you want a work permit to start your own business, it's exempt from that because you're investing here. So the federal program, the advantages are there's no limitation on where you start the business in Canada. So there's no restrictions. How much, what your age is, and the investment should just be significant enough for that industry. And create jobs. There's no specific numbers given, but each region, industry can be different, right? So you will work with your specialist who's in Canada and figure that out. If you're doing an ice cream stand or an IT solutions company or a cleaning company or a construction company, right? Or an engineering company, each one will be different. You can apply for work permit as soon as you've got everything set up, right? 3 to 5 months, a work permit will be issued for you and approved, and you can arrive to Canada. You can apply together with your family, right? Because you are a senior executive owner of this company that you want to set up here, right? So you can bring in your partner, spouse, and children, and there will be no refusal based on those grounds. Right? If you've got a perfect profile and then you bring in the whole family along, that's because you want to start the business in Canada. So they look at it differently than a spousal open work permit, or when you want to come here as a visitor visa or a student and you bring the whole family. Sometimes they might refuse you depending on your nationality. But in this case, if you come here to start your business, they expect you to bring your family. Why? Because they want to know you're serious in starting this business. So that's the major difference. You will get a 1-year work permit that's renewable. And depending on which program we apply, it can be renewable up to 5 to 7 years. After the first year, they want to see, are you starting that business that you promised with the criteria in the business plan, right? If you do, then you renew another 2 years. And it just goes on. And obviously, if you're thinking of permanent residency, that's the next step. If you already have the business running here with a partner, joint venture, or you've purchased it, they will probably give you a 2-year work permit from the beginning, because there's nothing really you need to prove that you will start the business, because you've already started it or already purchased it, right? So what are the cases you can look at? You can start a brand new business. You can set up a branch of your existing business, a subsidiary, a franchise, or you can just buy a business. Potentially majority shareholder, minority, there's a lot of different ranges. So in the federal program, there's a lot of options, and it gives you a lot of flexibility. So how do you look at the PR process? Well, after you're here with your work permit, then you look at the express entry to convert yourself or your family to permanent residency as an investor work permit. So what does that mean? So, well, express entry means you need to have the profile to be eligible, and through this program you can potentially issue yourself a job offer after 1 year to gain either 50 or 200 points. If you don't have the perfect profile, that's fine. We have a lot of clients who come here, start a business, and then their spouses or partners are employees of that business, gaining Canadian work experience. And what does that mean? If they've got a good profile for express entry, they can gain Canadian work experience, which gives you the most amount of points. And then you will convert them to PR. And when they convert to PR, the whole family, meaning your children, your spouse, partner. So the investor entrepreneur who's actually starting the business may not convert to PR directly, but through the family. So it depends. You have to engineer each case separately. Not every case is different. Every case is different, right? Everybody's profile is different. Everybody's resume is different. Everybody's family composition is different, right? So if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, your language isn't available to do express entry, or your age, you're losing points on age or education, or you just have a high school diploma, don't worry. If you've got a partner or spouse, perhaps they can be the eligible candidate. Okay, let's jump through here. A quick little note about this. In some cases, it's possible to start a business or run a business or buy a business before you arrive. Issue a job offer to yourself in your express entry profile before you arrive to Canada, and gain 50 or more points, depending on that knock code, and that will boost your points, and potentially you arrive on a permanent residency. So that's a little bit of a footnote. I don't want to confuse everybody. We're going to have a quick upcoming video about this in the coming weeks, about how to arrive in Canada as a PR with investor work permit through express entry, right? So you issue a job offer before you plan to come here, right? And that job offer will give you those bonus points in express entry. So before you even arrive to run your business, you've got your permanent residency. And remember, express entry is the fastest PR program in all of Canada. And if anybody has any doubts about that, we've got clients that can attest to that. Okay, provincial program. So you want to come in and start your business or buy a business or set up a branch, or you're a business owner, entrepreneur. You want to come here on a work permit. You don't want to go study. So you will go through the provincial program. That's another option. What's the difference with the provincial program versus the federal? Well, it's limited to that province. So we've got 10 provinces, 3 regions. That's the fun fact of the day in Canada. Most of these provinces, except Alberta, have a provincial entrepreneurial program, and I believe 1 or 2 territories in the north don't, but one does. Yukon does. And what does this mean? So you have to go through that province to be eligible under that program. There are industry priorities, right? So they prefer you, not want you. They're not going to force you, but they prefer applicants to go into specific industries. There's a minimum investment, so it could be 100, 150, or 250,000. In some cases, if you want to go right here in Toronto, it's 400,000, unless it's information communication technologies, where it can be reduced by half. And there's a minimum job creation, typically 1 to 2 people. Plus there's an EOI system. An EOI means expression of interest. So you create your business plan, your profile, you put it into the portal. They give you points based on your age, education, work experience, ownership experience, experience in that industry, job creation, how much you're going to invest in, where in that province you're going to be planning to invest in, because some areas are underinvested and they prefer those, but you gain additional points with that. It doesn't mean that they're going to force you to go there. And based on those points, they will come out every month or 3 months, depending on the province, and select and invite applicants from that pool that has registered on their profile to come through the entrepreneurial provincial programs. After they look at your documents, and they may do an interview, they issue a work permit, a nomination for work permit. Then you come over with the family and start the business. The good thing is, I think one of the few good things about this program is that you're not dependent on an express entry to convert to PR as an investor through the provincial program. The province will nominate you directly, so you don't need to worry about express entry. After 6 months, a year, 18 months, 20 or 24 months, they will audit your business and be like, yes, you completed what you promised us. We will nominate you for permanent residence and your family. And each province is different. Why did I mention 6, 12, 18, 20, 24? Because those are the different time periods that each province expects you to run the business. And you do not need to be profitable. Remember, everyone, with all these programs, the federal and provincial, being profitable is not a criteria. Investment, job creation, economic benefit, these are the criteria. So if you lose money, hopefully you won't, that's not going to stop you from gaining your permanent residence. Anyways, that was a quick crash course. We're gonna have upcoming videos in the next few weeks about this as well. So tune in, send us a message on our social media or website, and we'd be happy to discuss in more details. But I hope this is giving you a little bit of an insight of, hey, these things are possible. I own my business in my home country. I can just come and start a similar business, maybe do a joint venture, set up a branch. I don't need to come here as a student. It's not necessary for me to do that, right? And that's it. Thank you, folks. And again, this is Tuesday, and if you're watching, you're like, who is this guy talking about this stuff, and why is he talking about a live session? Why is he talking about these comments and questions? Well, every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. we have a live session like this. We talk about a specific subject, then we jump into the comments, and everybody asks their questions live on YouTube only. Instagram, Facebook, you can watch, but you cannot post and expect an answer during the live. And now if you're watching this video pre-recorded, you've got two options. Go pay some lawyers or consultants over $200 for consultation, or you can just come here every Tuesday and just ask your questions, right? So, you know, whichever you prefer. I don't mind getting paid. So let's jump in, folks. We want to see what the questions are today. And some of these questions may not be related to the subject, so that's why the first 3 to 10 minutes usually is dedicated to that subject or the title of the video, and then we jump into these live questions, which can be all which can cover international students, work visas, spousal sponsorship, startup visa, you name it, business immigration. Okay guys, we're here. When I read out your name, let me know that you're there by pressing the like button. So Oref Falomo, hey Reza, thanks for all your help. I just got my study visa and would be moving to Canada by January. Congrats, Oref Falamo. We're happy. We have to ring a bell every time somebody gets approved, because this is good news. That's positive energy. It's a good way to start the new year, 2022. Good news. Thank you, Oref. Ayomikun Toluhi. Hello, Reza. Is it too late to reapply for a student visa for January intake? Yes, it's too late. So continuing question. Also, I noticed that there's a new online study permit application through IRCC Pro. What do you know about it, and should I use the new method to apply? Yes, you have to use the new method to apply. You don't have to, but this is the suggested way to get a response, because IRCC is rolling out new platforms since last year and this year. We haven't tried the new portal yet, but we will be, because we have an application this week as well, at least, and we will be using the new portal. So if you plan on applying through the new study permit portal, you have to make sure, if you're applying for a study permit, use the new portal. Same like the visitor visas. Nasrin Ibrahimi says hello back. Make sure you press the like button when I call your name. How to says hello, how are you, Reza? I applied for a study permit and a spousal open work permit for my wife since 2020 October 22nd for January intake. Till now I didn't get any answer, any advice what I should do. I applied from Lebanon. Be patient. Be patient, how to, because the Middle Eastern embassies are slow. It's not good. Lucia Flores. Hi Reza, I have a valid visitor record and I am waiting for IRCC to process my spousal sponsorship in Canada. Can I go back to my country while I wait? Could I be able to come back to Canada? If you have a valid visitor visa, yes, you can return. If you don't have a valid visitor visa when you're returning, you cannot return. You have to apply for a visa again, right? But again, if you have a valid visa and you're going for like a 2-3 week, 1 week short trip, it's fine. But if you're going to stay there, I would say it will create an issue, because when they ask you for documents and you mention that you're outside, then the file might be sent over to the Nova Scotia office, which handles overseas spousal applications. So short trip, visitor visa, fine. If you don't have a visa, you need a visa. If it's a long trip, I don't personally recommend until you get your approvals here. Thank you for the likes, everyone. I see there's less questions today. Maybe it's the beginning of the new year, so that's fine. What we will do is we will also cover the new study permit portal in our next videos next week. What it is, what it's about, and are there any significant differences. Plus about business immigration in terms of giving yourself a job offer before you come through, before you arrive to start that business or run that business, or even, you know, before even your work permit is issued. It's a visitor record, and it's, yes, Lucia Flores. A visitor record means you can stay in the country. It's not a valid visa. So if your visa expired, you can stay in the country if you renew your visitor record, right? That's possible. A visa in your passport only allows you to enter Canada. That's it. So you can enter to Canada the day before it expires and stay in with the visitor record for as long as you want. Remember, maintain your status while you wait for your spousal sponsorship. If you're inside the country, you cannot base your status on a spousal sponsorship if you're inside. How to says, thanks for your answer. Do you think if I get a positive answer in the coming weeks, can I study from my place, or should I be physically in Canada? Right now, there are policies that allow you to study remotely up to a certain date because of COVID. So you can study for a short amount of time. But remember, if your study permit is not approved and you're studying, you're spending money without any guarantees that you'll be approved. So remember that. So study permit from Lebanon would take some time. I would say give it at least 4 months. So November, yeah, 3 to 4 months. 3 would be very optimistic. I would say keep it at 4 months. And then, yeah, follow up maybe at the 4th month or 3.5 months. Just send a direct email just asking for an update directly with the embassy where you applied. So if there's no more questions, folks, thank you for joining us today. There's one more question, is there? No, there's no more questions. Good. That's what we like. No, I'm just kidding. We're here every Tuesday, so we're going to be back here at 5 p.m. today in a bilingual session, Spanish-English, with my colleague, talking about how much money you need to immigrate to Canada. Has anyone ever told you that? As a student, a worker, a family sponsorship, business, whatever it is, how much money do you need to immigrate here, right? That's our video upcoming later on Tuesday, January 4th, 5 p.m. North America Eastern Time. Tune in, subscribe. We'd be happy to help. Okay, remember everyone, take care, and we will see you later on today. And if you missed us today, our videos are on our YouTube channel, and we will be back here next Tuesday. Thanks again, everyone. Take care and Happy New Year.